This is MacVoices TV. This edition of MacVoices TV at Macworld 2011 is brought to you by Smile, the makers of PDF Pen and Text Expander, tools for your Mac, iPhone, and iPad. Download free demos of these and more at smilesoftware.com. Hi, this is MacVoices TV at Macworld 2011 in San Francisco. I'm Chuck Joyner, and we are in the Smart Technologies booth talking to Chris Klein of SMART Technologies. Chris, welcome to MacVoices TV.
Thank you, Chuck. Always nice to talk to you guys each year.
Hey, it's good to talk to you, and good to learn a little bit more about what SMART is doing. My experience with SMART is primarily the SMART board in education, but you seem to be doing a lot more. I don't know if it's just this year or in general.
No, actually, we've been around for 20 years, so this is a really big year for SMART Technologies, and it fits so nicely with what Apple's doing with their operating system, because we're actually celebrating 20 years of touch. So everything that we've done ever since the very first SmartBoard interactive whiteboard that we've shipped, it was all about using your finger as a mouse. We wanted to remove any barriers between the user and their data, and keyboards, mice, things like that have sort of gotten in the way, and it's made it a little bit of a disjointed atmosphere. So we've now said, hey, Windows 7, Mac OS 10.7, Snow Leopard, your trackpads, the iPad, the iPhone, welcome to the world of touch. We're glad you're here because it just reinforces what we've always believed. But we do have a lot of new things. It's not that necessarily that we are doing anything new for new groups of people, because our products have always been based on multiple user collaboration. So corporate, government, military, and education have always been really strong areas that we've had our products show success in, but education truly is near and dear to our hearts. About 80% of our business or so, I'd say.
And when you say you've been celebrating 20 years of touch, of course, now a lot of us carry those devices in our pockets or tucked under our arm. Yours are mounted on a wall. So it's a little bit different metaphor, but the same thing works. And of course, you were showing me here before we started that you're really operating a Macintosh by touch right up here.
Absolutely. Basically, when you really look at it, what an interactive whiteboard does, a vertically mounted whiteboard like this, it's really a replacement for your mouse. So the natural gestures that people are learning and are reinforcing in all of their other displays and all of their other computing environments should be replicated up here as well. So pinch to zoom, rotate, all of those types of things, it should be natural. Once you have people start to want to learn other things or have to learn other things, that's why the Palm Pilot really didn't do that great, because you had to learn a completely different hieroglyphic-based alphabet just to be able to use the system. So this is running on a Mac. We've been on the Mac, PC, and Linux for years. So again, multiple different form factors, multiple different segments. One of the big differences, though, as you did point out, this being a vertically mounted board, it is a different type of experience. So this is really focusing around multiple people. When we talk about the iPad, the iPhone, the iPod Touch, and devices like that, it's really single-user devices. The other thing, as we talk about some of the other things we have in the booth here, such as our smart table, that's really meant for multiple people horizontally 360 degrees, which is a really big development challenge. How do I build something that anybody from any side can look at and use? But what I've got here, this is actually our SmartBoard Interactive Whiteboard. It's our brand new model. It's our 800 series board. It uses our DVI-T camera-based system, so I don't need any special tools. It recognizes my finger as a mouse. I'm able to touch things. I'm able to change between pages. We still have our great patented pen tray, which is on all of our SmartBoard products, but we've actually jazzed it up for this new series board. So I'd like to show you some of the things this can do, if it's okay with you.
I'd love to see it. Yeah, go for it.
Fantastic. So some of the new features, obviously we still have our page sorter. That's always been there. We've got our pen tray options where we can pull up the on-screen keyboard by pressing the button. I now have keyboard access because of my computer is in the back of the room. I might not want to walk back there to touch it. If I want to do a control click or a right mouse click gesture, I've got a simple button. I press this, and the next time I touch the screen, it's going to pull up my contextual menu, and that works in any application. So it doesn't matter if you're GarageBand, iMovie, Final Cut Pro, Aperture, any of those functionalities will still work by utilizing this as your input device.
Wait. Final Cut Pro, I can edit a movie on a smartboard.
Absolutely. I used to teach video broadcasting, and not only would I edit movies, but the nice thing is that when I'm not in when I'm not inside notebook. So here's a map. We had to go get some things printed at FedEx this morning. But not only can I control this by using 2 fingers to scroll up and down just like I would on my trackpad, but let's say that this was something like iMovie or Aperture and I wanted to point something out to a class of students or to my colleagues. I can select a pen color and I can now annotate on top of any application. So from a teaching perspective, I would be able to come in here and say, this is important information, I've highlighted it, everybody sees what I'm talking about, and now when I touch the board again, I'm going to save the ink, it takes a picture of it, and then when I come back into my notebook software, I have a screenshot of exactly what I was working on. So I can point out this segment of the video needs to be trimmed down. We need to increase the audio in this portion of the timeline. Mark it up, take a screenshot. I now have a history of what I've done in that environment.
So this is a perfect example of why the smart board is not just for the education market, where it is so well entrenched, but has a place in business. Now you're indicating it has a place in a creative environment as well.
Exactly, and as we work with third-party companies also, I've got another great application on here I'll show you. This is a program called ArtRage. They were actually in our booth last year at Macworld, and they may be coming around again this year. But what I've got here is we've all seen a lot of computer graphics programs. But imagine, since I can use any tool up here, if I had a paintbrush, which I will have later on today, I just haven't gotten it yet, I'm able to come over and select a paint color from my palette, and I can now just paint as if I naturally would, change my paint color, and this is the coolest thing that I like about the program. Not only can I paint in blue next to it, but I can also then start to blend the colors. So imagine an artist now having an 88-inch diagonal digital easel that they're able to use the exact same look and feel they would with no muss, no fuss. I've got my tool palette over here, I've got my ink over there. It's because our boards allow any type of input. So finger, it could be a cush ball if you're in education and a student, let's say, has cerebral palsy and can't interact or hold a special pen. Doesn't matter, give them a tennis ball. Give them a cush ball, give them a pointer if they can't reach the top of the board. The cameras will recognize anything touching as if it were a touch point.
Now, I have to tell you, at this close range, the viewers are not going to be able to appreciate it. The resolution is great. It's not monitor quality, it's not supposed to be, but it's also not hugely pixelated so that it's detracting from the experience. If I stick my nose up against it, yeah, it's pixelated, but it is not. It's surprising me at this close range, and this is where you're going to use it, and how good it is.
Absolutely, because not only do we do boards, you were right earlier on when you said, I know you from the smart board in the classroom, but actually we do a lot of things at Smart. We're one of the few companies in the space that we actually build all of our hardware and we write all of our software, which means we have a very tight integration of what we're able to do. So this board is brand new. But the system, which includes our new ultra short throw projection system, 13-inch hang from the wall, HD quality. This can do 720p. Now this, what you're seeing here, we've actually stepped down to VGA, but I could run HDMI directly into the projector as well. So you've got extremely high quality. And another product in our booth that I can also show you is we also have our integrated LCD panels. So you can buy a 52-inch or a 70-inch LCD panel that has our camera system built into it. So now you're talking true high-def quality, true HDMI input, and it's going to look just like the best TV screen you can get out there.
And with all the same capabilities you're showing here?
Absolutely, all the same functionality.
Okay, now that you got to ask, and I'm sorry, but what are the price points for some of this stuff? Because this is very cool, and I know if it doesn't whet the educators' appetites, it's going to whet a lot of creative and business appetites.
Absolutely. So we do have different suggested pricing. We don't sell direct, we're the manufacturer, so we actually have a whole range of resellers around the country, and around the world. We're in 180 different countries now. So if you're interested at all in finding out specifically what the price would be for you in your location, our website is www.smarttech.com, and there's a where to buy link on there to get you in contact with one of our resellers in your area. But as a general rule, if we're talking education, this system, 88-inch diagonal board, ultra short throw projector, is going to come in probably around $4,000. And then when you get to the LCDs displays, the integrated LCDs, those retail usually for around $7,000 or close to $10,000 or $11,000 if we're talking about the 70-inch model.
Yeah, this is not something for the home market yet, but soon?
It's definitely something that we're interested in. Obviously, the whole concept of the smaller form factor touch interfaces has really taken off with the iPod, the iPad, the iPhone, and there's lots of great app developers here at Macworld that we are talking to about taking their product and moving it in. But myself, personally, I would not foresee that far in the future. If you can buy an LCD display that has a camera system built in, why can't a parent go from watching TV to, oh, I have to cook dinner now, switching it over to the SmartBoard interactive capabilities and having have their child manipulate and work directly on the TV with not an additional piece of equipment necessary.
Chris, thank you for the time. It's very cool. I'm sure that the viewers are going to want to go out and find out more about it.
That would be great. We love the fact that, as I said, touch is really important to us. The industry is saying touch is where it's at. We completely agree. We have a host of products that we think will really make people happy. Our education table, and if we can take a look over there, you'll see that there's some kids over there. It requires no instruction. They just come up and they're very tactile. They dive right in. We've got a corporate coffee table. We've got our flat panel display. Lots of great things to show at this show this year.
I need to outfit my office.
We can do that for you.
Chris, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
I'm Chuck Joyner. We're in the Smart Technologies booth at Macworld 2011. We'll be back with more soon. Thanks for watching.
MacVoices TV is part of the MacVoices Group and a member of Mac Level 10.